Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Real Talk with Elaine. This is your weekly Tuesday Audacity series. And on tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about the audacity of saying no. No. Repeat after me. No. Oh my goodness. I have been wrestling with this topic all week long. And I'm excited to come before you tonight. And, I always film at night. So it's just like my peaceful time. And I'm happy to be able to come to you tonight and talk to you about how I feel about saying no. So, anyway, welcome to all of you for my new subscribers and my new viewers. I am so excited that you have joined me. And I want to first give a quick shout out and thank you because I put something out there this week. I put a post out there this week asking you to just help me get to 100 subscribers. And I have been able to do this in only about 2 months because I know when I first started out, I didn't have this many subscribers. And today I saw that I reached 100 with subscribers. I was going to say prescribers, 100 subscribers. So I want to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for doing that for me. Thank you for answering the call. It means so much to me because it's not, for me, it's not about, getting anything more out of this. It's about what I can pour into you. And so I just want to make sure you understand that I have a good daytime job. I don't plan to leave. I love my job. So I just wanted to be able to reach more people, to help more people, to communicate with more people, and have you be able to deposit those same things back into me. So if that's what you're here for, I'm glad you're here. And I just ask that you stay and check me out for a while and just see what you like. I am here tonight. Well, also for the new people that are here, let me just take you back a little bit. This is my journey. I have been walking this journey with GLP1 medications since March 29th, 2024. I started out because I was having some issues with for a while I was pre-diabetic, and then I tipped the scale and went over into the diabetic range. So my doctor decided to put me on Mounjaro. I started out on 5 milligrams and I stayed on 5 milligrams. And I know I didn't start on 2.5. So if you heard me say 5 milligrams, you were exactly right. I started out on 5 milligrams and I titrated up over the past 8-9 months. I haven't really been doing the math on it, honestly. So 8-9 months, I've been titrating up until now. I am on 10 milligrams of Mounjaro. I actually went up to 12.5, was not feeling it at all. And I backed myself down to 10 milligrams. Of course, talking with my doctor and sharing with him my concerns. So there's some other things that's going to come out about that next week. So stay tuned because I might be going back to 12.5. Something weird happened with the 10 milligrams this week, but I'm going, keep it going until maybe next week. But I will tell you some things that I'm dealing with the 10 milligrams. So anyway, I have lost at my greatest, my weight when I started this was 300 pounds. I've gotten all the way down to 244. So I lost over 56 pounds on this. And so I was excited when I actually got to the 244. What a lot of people who have already been following me know that I have lymphedema. So lymphedema is inflammation and swelling. I have it in my lower extremities. And so as a result, I do go up and down on the scale. That's my demon. That's my real demon. So I hate that, but I do get my actual weight once I work on reducing the fluid in my body, and that helps me know where my true weight is. So I definitely am excited that I was able to achieve 56-pound weight loss since March 29th, 2024. All right. So now that you have all of that, my A1C is down. My that's amazing. Last time I believe it was like 5.4. So that is really great. So I'm doing well. I did incorporate exercising at one time. So that's another thing I'm dealing with, trying to get myself back into a better exercise regimen. I was doing well during the summer months, and once fall hit, the fall hit. Okay, I fell during the fall. Okay, so I definitely am working on striving, getting back into the mode of exercising on a regular. So we'll talk about that on my regular weekly update, which is usually on Fridays. So I'll come to you Friday with some more information on how I'm doing this week on everything regarding my GLP. But the Audacity series focuses on mental and physical kind of revelations that I'm having as going through this GLP-1 journey. So I am on Manjaro, as I mentioned before. So there's some great things that I've been learning. And I mentioned that I have been with a therapist. And I just want to be kind of natural tonight. Sometimes I do come in a very educational setting. And while I still like to make sure you learn something out of everything, I do want to say, I just want to kind of be real and natural with you, because this is Real Talk with Elaine. So I want you to understand how I'm feeling on some of these things. So I chose the topic tonight about just having the audacity to say no, because that's a struggle for many of us. And that's been a real issue for me for many, many, many years. And it's been hard. Probably, if anybody kept up with one of the series that I did, one of the first Audacity series. I think it was actually the second Audacity series I did on the audacity of obesity and childhood trauma and abuse. As a result of that, that has allowed me to look at other things that has kept me on this obesity journey. And so I think with the history of childhood abuse and neglect as well, I started to look at what are some of the other characteristics that came out of being in an abusive, being trained and developed and conditioned in an abusive environment. And one of the things that I found out was we tend to people please. We tend to people please. Now, I'm not saying everybody to people please have been in an abusive environment. I do not believe that. I do not know that to be scientifically factual. However, for me, I realized that that's one of the things that I struggle with was people pleasing. I was looking at a content creator this morning, as I often do. I am a midnight hour. So if anybody is up in the middle of the night and you just need someone to talk to, shout out to your girl here, because I'm usually up. Okay, I'm usually up. I take an early nap around 7, 8 p.m. Anybody else do that? And I have no little kids at home or anything. All my children are grown. So I take a nap around 7 o'clock p.m. and I wake up again, maybe 11, 12 midnight, and then I'm up. So that's a lot of times when I'm checking out my fellow content creators. So I want to say I was very excited to look last night at one of our content creators, Mindy. So if you know Mindy, give her a shout out. I'll put her handle, or her YouTube handle, her YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I just drew a blank on what we call this. Her YouTube channel, I will put that in the description below. But Mindy did a video on a new tool that she used to help her exercise, which I am going to check it out. And I think it's called Well Train, if I'm not right, or Train Well. It's one or the other. TrainWell. I think it's Train Well. And so she was showing us how she can have kind of a trainer that can do virtual training with her and support her and different things like that. This was the funniest video I could watch in the middle of the night. It's a wonder I didn't wake up my whole household because Mindy had me hollering, like laughing, because she was just doing her best trying to do these exercises, and she was so comical with it. But I loved her. And the one thing I loved about her is that she did sit down and she delved into some information about herself. And without me going into all of that, because you certainly can check out her videos, but I noticed that she mentioned one thing that I had already had on my plate to talk about this week, and that was that she was a people pleaser. And I thought, oh my God, she has the same problem as me. Like, oh my goodness, like this can't be. But yes, it was. She said she was a people pleaser, and I totally understood what she meant by that. And so I wanted to kind of dive into what people pleasing means. What is people pleasing? So these behaviors, where do they come from? And they kind of stem from a mix of psychological, social, and emotional factors that, we develop as we growing up through life. I could almost imagine for me when I was a kid, just going through just being rejected so much by my maternal, parent, that I probably felt like it was important for me to make sure that everybody around me understood that I just wanted to fit in. I wanted to have a place and a space in their life because that was something I think there was a void in my life. So one of the things I'll just talk about with people pleasing, I'll just kind of give you a list of a few things, should I say, not one thing, but a few things that are characteristics of people pleasers. One of the things is we need approval. People pleasers need approval. Many of us seek validation and approval from others, which can make us feel inclined to please them so that we can feel valued and we can feel accepted. And that's just not fair to us because it's kind of a false, it's kind of a false kind of sense of approval. Like it's really not real. We're just wanting people to like us or to let us believe that we're being accepted. And sometimes we're not doing it for the right reasons. We may be giving them things. I know I was a little kid. I used to always give all my friends candy. My best friend Lisa, when I was growing up, she can tell you this. And if she watches this video, she's probably going to fall out laughing because we stopped at the candy store every morning before we went to school. And I was always buying now laters and lemon heads and Snickers and everything. And I couldn't wait to get to school to give it to the people who cared the least about me. Why? Because I wanted to be accepted. And it was my need for approval. Second reason why we people please, fear of rejection. The fear that we're going to be rejected or disliked can drive us to prioritize others' needs over our own needs. Okay. So we look at what's better for them and not what's best for us. Did y'all hear that? We look at what's better for them and not what's best for us, even if it personally cost us a whole lot. So that's something that has been very painful throughout my life, just going through that. And partially because I'll say number three is our upbringing plays a huge part in this. Our childhood experiences, and you've heard mine already. If you haven't, again, go back and look at my previous videos, and I do dig very deep into some of my personal childhood experiences with neglect, abuse, and so forth. But our childhood experiences and parenting styles can influence us to enter into people pleasing tendencies. Um, for example, some of us were praised for being compliant as children. So you might say that's not good. That's not a good thing to do. I praise my kids, my grandkids, my nieces and nephews all the time for being compliant. But that really may not be a good thing. I mean, I know we do that. I have a dog, Rusty. Oh, he's not around here right now. I forgot. I put him up because he tends to bother me when I'm videoing. But Rusty, he's a dog. And so I know when we train our dogs, when we first get them, That's one of the things we're taught to do. We give them treats when they're compliant to what our direction or instruction is. But um, I don't know if that's really the best thing to do for all children. Now, I know there are some children that need that reinforcement if there are some special needs or concerns, which I did raise a special needs son. So I did often find that I had to say, good job, that's great, wonderful, because that's what reinforced his continuance to grow in that area. But those should be natural behaviors. As children, we should have just been compliant if our parents said do something. So, I didn't, if I washed the dishes when my mom told me to wash the dishes, she didn't say, good job, you washed the dishes. Oh, what an amazing job you did. No. So I think some parents tend to overdo that. And then that leads to those kind of distorted behaviors as adults when we grow older, and just wanting to have the approval of others for everything we do. And I know a lot of adults like that. So that's kind of a real deal. Okay. Another area I would say is low self esteem can lead to people pleasing. So that's how I look at some of what I think those of us who are on this GLP-1 journey, we may have got sucked into this right here. Because I know being obese or overweight, whichever category you fallen into, could lead you to feeling like you have low self esteem, or knowing, or you have exuding low self-esteem tendencies, because you want to rely on external validation to feel good about yourself, and making you more likely to engage in that kind of people pleasing activities. So you may tell others how great they look. Oh, I really like the way you wore that so well. I like that outfit that you have on today. Oh, you are so beautiful. Oh, girl, I love your body. You just look so nice, or whatever. And then you that someone give you that same compliment, and you say, oh no, girl, I don't know, I don't feel like, I don't feel well today. I just feel like, girl, this whole thing I got on, and I had to get it 2 sizes larger than I thought I had to get it. Not just being able, and I'm just making up things, but not just being able to accept a mere compliment, because we have low self-esteem, not feeling like we belong, not feeling like we fit in. I know I told in one of the previous videos, and I talked about this, and Downsizing Diva shared this on her live one night. I didn't come clean and share that it was me, but I had a conversation one-on-one with her about friends not being accepting of me all the time, not allowing me in their circle, not and these people that I thought were my friends, but I was in a different social circle, I believe, for them. But they would often, I'd often think that we were cool enough that I would be invited to the cookout. I would be invited to the concert. I would be invited to the football game. I would be invited to the wonderful girls' trips. But then I would look online and see I wasn't. And I would see people taking trips together, doing things, and no one ever said, hey, Elaine, you want to go? But these are people that, some of them that I talk to on a regular, at least weekly. And it was kind of disheartening for me to see that. And so I remember Downsizing Diva said, if you haven't checked her out, I'll put her YouTube channel also in the description below, because she can give you some great stuff too, that she's done and she's dealt with, and she's an excellent content creator, as all my content creator friends are. I try to give everybody a shout out every now and again. See, that's people pleasing. That's one of the people pleasing thing. Want to make everybody happy, but we can't make everybody happy. And so I think I'm going to grow with that, and hopefully you'll grow with me in that area as well, if that's one of your concerns. But yeah, it was just like, I mean, I went through this, this phase, and Downsizing Diva said, it's not necessarily just, it didn't have to really be me. Maybe they felt uncomfortable with not knowing how I would feel going on certain trips with them or doing certain activities with them, because I always talked about my own weight. How many of you do that? You talk about your own weight, your own challenges. And so people at some point, they feel uncomfortable with you doing that. So I think that's one of the things that does lead to people pleasing, because we just want everybody to feel comfortable, even if it's at our discomfort. Okay. Um, Conflict avoidance. That is another area. Some individuals, we try to please others to avoid conflict. We want to maintain harmony, and I could see that really being an issue for those that I said, like myself, who have come from a very tumultuous background. And so we want to make sure that we can keep everyone happy. We don't want to ever get into any contentious kind of relationships, or, con- conflicts or whatever. So we'll just sit back and be like, okay. And even if it means suppressing our own needs and our own desires, we'll just comply. All right. Some people do it for empathy and compassion. That's pretty scary. I do actually have a family member like that, and I feel bad for her, but she constantly wants people to feel empathetic and compassionate for her. So it's always something really going on with her. And I mean, lives. Like, I've been through a lot in the past year. This has been a very horrible year for me, outside of starting GLP-1 medications, which has been great. But I have had a lot of personal loss in my life this year, and disappointments and disconnections in relationships. So that's been really difficult for me. But that's mine, and I've owned it. And I do the work with my therapist to work on those things. But some people just don't want to do that. And so they find that, you know, hey, they people please so that the people can start feeling sorry for them, and that's not good. It's kind of a reverse psychology kind of thing. But let me jump to something else that is that we tend not to do as people pleasers, and we have a problem with, and that is just being able to say no. So that's my resolve for this week. I had therapy on Monday this week, and today is December 11th, and it's Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. But I had my therapy session on Monday, and I told my therapist, as I always do, I was like, "Oh, you're gonna be on my video this week. This topic, this content that we discuss is going to definitely be on my content video this week." But she challenged me this week to be able to say no. And I'm telling you, it's an ugly feeling, because I never want to say no. Anyone to know, they ask me to do something, I'm going to be like, yeah, okay. Oh, or I will volunteer myself knowing that I have no intent to really want to do it. That is so awful. Like, that is ingenuous. I just wish I wasn't like that. And that's just how I've been. So she challenged me on that this week. And so I just wanted to say, what are some of the things I thought about when I got off my session with her? It was, why can I say no? So I want to tell you a few of the reasons why I can't say no. And there's tons out there, but I'm just going to tell you a few. One is fear of disappointment. I often worry about what others are going to say, or am I going to be disappointing to them if I say no? Am I going to let them down if I say no? And I know my therapist told me, she said, well, if you say no with an excuse or without an excuse, people are going to think what they want to think. It doesn't matter. You're freeing yourself, not them. Oh, that was huge for me. Like, I was like, oh my God, That means a lot. Like, are you serious? I'm freeing me? Yes. So that was very helpful. Um, Another reason why we don't say no is because we have just a pure heart and a desire to help. Okay. We genuinely want to help other people. People pleasers, we do want to help other people. It's not fake. We're not fake. It's not fake. We really do want to help, but we just can't say no because we're afraid that if we do, then we're not fulfilling our purpose and our goal in this individual's life. Not in our own life now, mind you, but in this individual's life. We're trying to fulfill the purpose and the goal in their life. Crazy, 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 crazy. Um, we can't say no because again, we want to avoid conflict, same as why we people please, because we just don't want to deal with the mere confrontation. um we can't say no because what we should say why we should say no is because of overcommitment. We will overcommit ourselves by not saying no. We will overcommit ourselves. We know we're already overwhelmed. We know we already have tons of responsibilities, yet we find it hard to say no to new ones. I passed this test this week because I had a commitment and I felt really bad about it because I knew I should not have taken it on when the person asked me. And it was going to tie me into the next 6 months of a lot of volunteerism type of work. And I had to say, I can't do it. I apologize. It was my fault that I overcommitted myself, but I'm not going to be able to fulfill this. Y'all, when I tell you, when I did that email last night to that individual, I felt like a 10-pound weight was lifted off my chest. I was like, oh my God, that was so good. And you know what? I did it before it got too involved into it. And I was able to sit back, relax, and go to sleep last night. And I didn't think about it again. So it's okay to say no. It's okay. Remember, it frees you. It's not supposed to free the other individual. And it's okay that it doesn't free them. It may cause them to be rattled for a minute because they have to now think and utilize other resources other than you. But it's okay because it releases you, it creates liberty for you. So do it for yourself. It's about self care. Practice saying no, practice setting your boundaries, know your limits, stick to them. Stick to your limits, stick to your boundaries. Okay? Be honest and be direct. When I did that, I was very honest and I was very direct about, sorry about that. I was very honest and I was very direct about what I needed to do. I said, I can't do it. I'm overcommitted. I have family obligations that will impede me being able to being committed to this project. So therefore, I must decline. Man, that was so freeing. Freeing. So, another thing we can do, if it's just hard for you to say flat out no, offer alternatives. We are very resourceful people, those of us who always say yes, because we've done it all. We know we got resources because we wouldn't say yes if we didn't have resources. So we're very resourceful. Reach out to your other resources. See if there's some other alternatives to help to help maybe the individual or the group that's trying to pull on you because they know that you always say yes. And you know, people know those people. Don't think that they don't know that you are a yes man or a yes woman. Don't think they don't know that. That's why they call on you. That's why they call on you. So be true to yourself. Understand what your boundaries are. Saying no is not saying that I never will be there to help you. I never will be able to attend something that you've asked me to attend. I never will be able to give you something that you've asked me to give you. It's not saying that forever. It's just saying for right now, it's a no. It's a hard no. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this has enlightened some things in your life. It certainly has done it for me. I told you I need the church robe on every week because I'm preaching to the choir. So I thank you for joining me on today. I'll see you next Tuesday on the Audacity series. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think about this series because I want to keep it going and I want to keep it focused on what's going to make us productive in our growth and our health and our mental wellness as we grow through our GLP1 experience. I love you guys and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.